Hey guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And on this topic, as you guys can see, I wanted to talk about something that I'm sure a lot of you have probably experienced. You don't have to be a empath to go through this. Even a narcissist goes through this. Even a narcissist goes through this. These people are, just because they're alike doesn't make them. Even though a lot of narcissists have a lot of the same traits, it doesn't make them exempt from going through the same things that an empath goes through. It's all about how you handle those situations. So if you're dealing with a narcissist that, they come and they treat you bad and they exploit you, this doesn't mean that they haven't been exploited themselves. It's about their lack of empathy to others, right? This is like someone who gets bullied, right? A kid that is being bullied and being shamed and publicly humiliated. What does that kid do? The first chance or opportunity that kid sees someone that they feel that they can bully, someone that might even be nice to them. That person might say, hey, I understand what you're going through, and befriend you and treat you with respect and everything that you said you wanted in a friend. And now that you're clicked up with this person, and now the narcissist, the moment they get a new friend, because now they're using the law of attraction, because they're getting feel from this new friend that feels sorry for them. So what do? They ditch that person that was there for them to go with the cool person, the person they think is cool, the person that gets supply, the person that people might even respect or has more money or whatever the case is. And they ditch you, and you're wondering, why isn't this person my friend anymore? What did I do to this person? And that's because they picked and chose a narcissist person. They chose that person to fit in, right? To get supply, because they feel like that person has more value than you. They're gonna get more energy, more supply, and they almost start to look down on you as a friend, because they look at it like, yeah, I got bullied at that time. You came and you were nice to me and everything, but I didn't really get bullied. They want to erase the fact that they got bullied. I didn't really get played. Yeah, other people played me, but the reason they feel good is because they look at it like, okay, someone played me, but I played you, and now I got a clean slate, and now I'm dealing with this narcissistic friend. And when you bring up that you were there for me and you were a good friend, I'm going to say, hey, we were never really friends like that, or you never really knew me. Even though these people will sit there and share their whole life story with you, their lack of empathy will say, hey, you never really knew me like that. Hey, I wasn't the best version of myself. So whoever I was to you at that moment, that's not the real me, because the real me, now that I've been around this narcissistic friend, the real me is who I became, mimicking this person that's in front of me. They start to become that person that they admire. This is why the narcissist only respects people that they admire. So that leads me to the whole thing where a a lot of times when you're dealing with narcissists, right, they like to publicly humiliate you. And I learned that from being with the narcissist. I remember one time, me and the narcissist arguing in public, and it was them arguing with me, really, and me trying to calm them down to the point where I just, I started crying. And it was another guy, right, that was getting in his car that was parked, near us. And he basically was like, damn, bro, like, you got her like that, huh? Like, almost like proud. You know what I'm saying? He was like giving him props for putting me through some type of pain. And I couldn't believe it, but I could believe it, because I've learned quickly with narcissistic people that they will even gather together in public to humiliate you with other strangers. Other people will even jump in and defend them, and they don't even know the whole thing, or they might make you look like you're the crazy one, or if they do abuse you, people will say, you basically deserved it. They'll look at it like, well, she's with him or he's with her, so they deserve that type of treatment. And because they don't respect that you're allowing someone to do that to you, then they don't respect you either. And it's okay not to respect the choices of someone, but what a narcissist will do is that they will try to tag along with other narcissists to publicly shame you. And this is a very like childish type of behavior, because it almost reminds, at least it reminds me, when narcissist people publicly shame people, because we have this we believe that the narcissist treats strangers better than us, right? But no, the narcissist is a bully. They pick and choose what strangers they're going to be nice to. Because a lot of times we look at it like, they're nicer to other people. And a lot of times you don't know that they're only being nice because they want something. They're only being nice because they want that person on their side. And they're only being nice because they like the way they look to that person, meaning that if that person believes that them being generous or being kind or holding the door open or greeting them with a smile and all right, bro, see you next time, they feel like if they get energy from people, that determines who they are as a person. But that's not who they are as a person, because who you are is who you are with everybody. You know what I'm saying? One thing I learned is that with my personality never changes according to who I'm dealing with. My personality is my boundaries and the way I am. I'm that way with anybody and everybody. And it doesn't matter who you are, how much money you make, how do you look. I treat everyone with the respect, or show them according to how I'm treating them, how I want to be treated, right? Of course, when I say my personality never changes, it doesn't mean that my mood doesn't change. I am who I am at all times, meaning that I stand on my principles. My personality doesn't change. My emotions and my mood might change, meaning that maybe one day I'm kind of sad. One day I'm a little bit more happy. One day I got less energy than another day. Some days I might not really want to talk. Sometimes I don't really want to interact with anyone. Some days, when people are interacting with me, I'll always interact with people, even if I might not feel like talking, right? Even if I don't feel like talking, if someone is talking to me, or my what I'm feeling inside is not gonna change from how I treat someone. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're gonna see that based on how they're feeling and their emotions, that's gonna determine how they're gonna treat people around them. So you might have a coworker who they're very talkative, very, they always greet you, right? And you might notice that, hey, this person, they seem kind of down today or whatever, and you might greet them just out of respect, right? You might be able to tell that they might not be in that mood today, and that's fine, right? But you're still going to be respectful. So what you'll notice with certain narcissists, not every narcissist, but certain narcissists, they won't greet you back, and that'll make you feel like, okay, well, screw you then, because all I said was good morning, and you looked at me and kept walking, like you're taking out whatever you're going through on me. And now if I feel like I don't feel comfortable with you the way I once did, because I don't feel like you should be able to treat me the way you want to treat me whenever you feel like it. So now if you're in a good mood and you greet me and you're talking to me, I'm most likely going to be less, I'm going to not really want to interact with you the way I did before, because now I feel like you're playing with me as a person. You're not valuing my kindness or my friendship. So I might keep it cordial, but I'm going to back up, because I'm going to feel like, hey, depending on your mood, you could treat me however you want. You can even start lying on me. You could feel insulted by me, because we might joke around, and the next thing you know, I say something, and because you're not feeling well, you're going to take it differently. So you'll see that narcissists will publicly, embarrass you, meaning that you greeted this person, and they on purpose, they didn't even greet you back in front of even other people, right? And that also makes other people look at you like, if that person treats you like you don't have value, then other narcissists will start feeling comfortable doing the same. But if people see that you stay in your lane and you don't really what this person, what they're about, it doesn't bother you, then people will clearly look at it like, hey, this person over here, they're not bothered by how you treated them or how you tried to ignore them. They're not bothered by you. And people will look at the narcissist like they have a problem, they have issues. And some of these people might not be full-blown narcissists, but they're interacting with narcissists, which a lot of times people that interact with narcissists, they'll have certain traits because they're used to dealing with that type of abuse, with that type of disrespect, and they're used to being silenced, or they're used to being devalued and discarded. So they start getting comfortable doing the same to others, just like how I said, someone gets bullied, they start bullying other people. So a narcissist likes to publicly humiliate you, and they pick and choose who they do this to, because some narcissists can have a bad day, but they're still going to not be, they're not crazy. They're still going to have enough intelligence to know who not to play with, no matter how angry they are. So they might sit there and cuss you out in the car, and then get out the car, and then they put a whole mask on with someone and very charming, right? So their public humiliation and picking and choosing who they disrespect is done very calculated. They also feel like when they are calculated about their disrespect and they've targeted you for any reason at all, they look at it as, you're not going to say anything to me. I already sized you up. I already could tell what type of person you are. I could, and some of them, they might feel like they're more intelligent than you, or they have more than you. So in their mind, they're already looking down on you, and anything that they do or say, they feel like you're not going to do anything about it, right? A lot of times, the narcissist gets a lot of hate, just like the empath. Like I said, just like an empath can be publicly humiliated, the narcissist can be publicly humiliated too, because they're a human being just like you. So when a narcissist gets publicly humiliated and they're doing it to you, they are very acknowledgeable that the same things that they go through, you go through, right? But they want to have one up on you. They want to lower your self-esteem even more. They want to make you might even interact with the narcissist and tell them about your day, or tell them about your coworkers, or tell them about, things that happen through your day. And you might even feel like you're being targeted, right? You're being targeted. You're a targeted individual being targeted by all these different entities, people that you don't even know. You might even share these things with the narcissist. The narcissist isn't going to acknowledge that they're going through those same things. And if they do, they're going to make it seem like it's not to the extensity of what you go through, because they're more of a likable person than you. And a lot of times they're going to hold a lot of the things that do happen. Unless someone really bruised their ego, they'll share things with you. But a lot of times the typical narcissism that goes on, in day-to-day life, a lot of times they won't tell you anything. They'll keep these things to themselves. And you're sharing your traumas, you're sharing what people have done or said to you, or moments where you feel like you were bullied. And the narcissist is keeping note of all these things. And the moment that they devalue you or discard you, they're going to bring up everything that people have done to you, things that you've shared to them. Maybe if you have a hard time building friendships, they'll sit there, oh, that's why no one wants to be your friend, or that's why no one likes you, right? Because you're dealing with a bully's mentality, meaning that someone is using you, abstracting you for your supply, your energy, to make themselves feel better, right? How do they make themselves feel better? Why would a narcissist gain from your pain? This is how the narcissist gains from your pain, because by being connected to you, it's just like that kid being bullied, and this kid comes along and is kind to them because because they're being bullied. This kid might not have a lot of friends. This kid might offer their kindness, their empathy, and now it attracts the same people that were bullying the narcissist initially. Now they're attracted to this, they want to be the narcissist friend. Just like when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, they might not be attracted to the narcissist. They might not want the narcissist the way you want them, but just the simple fact that they're with you will make them desirable. So your pain is the narcissist's gain, right? A lot of us go through many situations in life where we understand this, and the narcissist understands it, and they'll let you know in many ways that they understand it. But what they will do is that they will gaslight you and deny your reality and deny the things that they're doing and have done to you. And even if they were to expose themselves, that's where the lack of empathy goes, and you'll sit there almost flabbergasted. How could you do the same things that you claim other people have done to you? The narcissist is like a child. when a child is out and about, right, in the world, and they're learning things and they're seeing things, it's like a kid pointing out things about someone, right? Oh, let's just say there's an autistic kid, and this little kid is staring at that kid, or might even start laughing at that kid, or or someone has cancer, and they've lost all their hair, and that kid will sit there and tell their parent or someone, oh, that lady doesn't have any hair, or look at that old man, look at how he's walking, right? A lot of children say things, even your own children will say things to you, right? Like, even your own children can even bully you out of their own ignorance, right? Just out of their own ignorance. And they might not even try to bully you. They're just children, right? And that's why you teach your children how to respect others. You teach your children, you put them in the car, hey, there's kids that have disabilities. Hey, there's people that are sick. Thank God that you have health, right? You teach them about God. You teach them about being kind to others, right? You have to catch those things while they're a child, or else, guess what? They go out into the world and they start speaking out loud and saying things, or they get around their friends and they think it's okay, and they're, because this is what kids do. That's all they do is bully people. You go to school, well, and that's from me and studying the younger generation in my family, right? It's that kids are one way at school, kids are another way at home. But if you're smart enough to see through your children and see that they're being sneaky, or they're they're pretending to be one way, or they're standoffish, or they share things with you where they might think something is humorous, right? They might say, oh, my friend, somebody called them this, or someone called them that. Oh, but he deserves it because we already told him we don't want to be friends with him, but he keeps coming around. Instead of that kid thinking to themselves, that kid is probably lonely, and he probably really wants to fit in with this crowd. That kid, because they feel like, hey, I'm popular. Hey, well, we don't want to be their friend. Hey, we already gave them many hint signs. They lose that empathy and in thinking that maybe that kid is lonely, or they might feel like, hey, I don't have to tolerate it. Hey, I don't have to be forced to like someone, right? But it's about how you do things and how you say things, right? It's how you can empathize with someone and not take what they're doing personal. But the narcissist, they're not going to look at someone with empathy. They're going to look at someone and want to bully them, so if you have a friend and you're bringing this new friend around the narcissist, whether you're dealing with the narcissist or the Jezebel spirit, you're going to see that the narcissist is going to try to publicly humiliate your friend, and your friend that you brought around this narcissistic friend, you might not know your friend's a narcissist, but he's doing everything in his power to turn you against your friend that you most likely liked. You like them enough to invite them over. You like them enough to hang out with them. You like them enough to say, hey, let's go out. You're the one that reached out to the friend to tell them, hey, let's go out. But now, because the narcissist does not like this person, they're trying to get you not to like them. And then on top of that, the narcissist is being a bully, right? If I invite a friend over and I have another friend that doesn't like that friend, I'm not going to go and pick sides with that narcissistic friend. And that narcissistic friend might put that pressure on you like it's either her or me. But if I have to choose between you and someone who's a stranger to you that you don't even know, then you're not my friend at all. You're trying to control me. You're trying to control who I talk to. And if you're willing to do that, then you're willing to do that to me. If you get a new friend, you're willing to do those same things to me, right? The cycle continues. But this is why I say the narcissist doesn't have a problem publicly humiliating someone, because even though this new friend you brought around, they might not be a stranger to you, but they're a stranger to the narcissist. So you have to pay attention to that, because a narcissist will publicly humiliate someone and shame them, right? And they don't even know this person. They're just observing them. They're judging them by how they look. And this person might be a really great friend, a good support system for you. But the narcissist will take those things away, especially if they feel like they have to compete with that friend, especially if they feel like, oh, that's a good person. I could tell that's a good person, and they might end up being a better friend than me, or be able to be a better support system for you. And you might end up being closer to them than me, even though I don't value the friendship the way you do. But it's just a simple fact that they want to compete with that person. It's just a simple fact that they want to publicly humiliate that person and put themselves in a pedestal, right? And what you will see when you go out into the world, right, that same behavior that goes on in elementary school when you're a kid, that same behavior, you think when you go into your adulthood, this is what I used to think, right? You think when you go into your adulthood that you're leaving high school behind. You're leaving, this behind. And you also look at a lot of people, right, especially even people that have already been through what you've been through, your elders and others, right? And you'll start to notice that the high school games are still being played even in your own family. So people will pay more attention to your downfalls, or a lot of times you'll see that even your own family will try to publicly shame you and humiliate you with other people, with strangers, with their friends, talking about you to people that don't even know you. And you realize they're trying to publicly humiliate me and shame me. And technically, even though we're family, we're technically strangers, because I don't really know you like that. You never really got to know me like that. You haven't done anything for me. And when you think back and you think to yourself, every time I felt like I was being shamed by family and people who are technically strangers, because I don't see them on my day-to-day life, but every time I come around them, they don't respect me. They look down on me. They think they're better than me because they have more than me, or they're competing. They're trying to have their children compete with me, right? Or they're talking about the things that they've heard about me, but when I'm doing great and positive things, there's no support there. When I invite them to things that, to celebrate me, they don't show up. They don't really want to come. They feel like they're being forced to go so that they don't really look bad, right? You start to see that they always were secretly, publicly shaming you to others. And when you bring up things that they've said that weren't true, they get offended, or they try to turn others on you, or they try to lie and manipulate and make up lies about you and accuse you of things that you didn't even do. And they start to become the enemy, and you start to see, well, what can I do? And what a lot of these narcissists will say is, hey, you have to forgive. Hey, we're family. Family forgives. Family does this. Family does that. Right? And you know what the empath will do? The empath will say, yeah, you're right. We're family. I'm going to forgive. And you've been forgiving and forgiving your whole life. And then one day you're going to wake up as you get older, and you're going to say, hey, I can't fucking forgive this shit. You crossed the line. Matter of fact, you've been crossing the line. But now they'll say, no, you've always been troubled. You've always been this. You've always been that. They're going to tell you who you are. And you know that everything that they say about you is not true. They're going to say that you're the selfish person. They're going to might even call you the narcissist. They might say a whole bunch of bad things about you, but you're going to realize these people are, even though they were in my life for so many years, they were always strangers. They were always teaching me to be the bigger person, to forgive, to let things go. But now I realize that that was my downfall the whole time, was that you were getting me, you were putting me in a vulnerable situation to forgive and act like everything is okay. And things are, and the disrespect isn't as disrespectful as it really is. Meanwhile, when I forgive you, you're actually continuing the shame. You're still continuing talking about me, shaming me. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here, okay, forgive. You keep forgiving. And you realize that every single time that was your downfall, right? Just like in a relationship with a narcissist, you forgave, and that was your downfall, that you kept forgiving. So they teach you to forgive, but they never forgive, right? They're not forgiving people. They teach you how to forgive so that you can keep taking the abuse, and they can continue publicly shaming you. The moment you say, I'm not going to be publicly shamed, everything's always been negative. You've always focused on the negative, right? You don't focus on the positive. You've never been there, never really supported me. Once you wake up, now the narcissist will flee from you. These people will flee from you, and they will keep remaining. They won't ask for forgiveness. They won't take accountability, and they'll keep that storyline of you being this wicked or diabolical person, and then they'll completely avoid you, right? And they do this so that they can continue publicly shaming you even when you're not around them anymore, and so that they don't have to take accountability for the fact that they were always shaming you. And now, right, if you bring this up to them in your adulthood, now they'll say, oh, you're too old to be talking about this. Oh, leave that in the past. Oh, that happened a long time ago, right? So the publicly shaming you will continue because they won't take accountability. So these same type of people, you'll think to yourself that it was just you who was targeted, but you don't understand, because you'll see them treating other people better. You'll see your family treating your abuser better than you, right? So what we don't realize is that the narcissist is addicted to talking bad about people. They're addicted to gossiping about people. They're addicted to being envious and jealous of other people. So guess what? When you go out into the world, you're going to be publicly humiliated. You're going to be going out into the world sometimes, and it's going to feel like when you leave the house, it's going to feel like you're going to high school, because you're going to be dealing with people that's older than you. You're going to be dealing with people that's younger than you. You're going to be dealing with people that have their own perception on you based off of what they see on the internet. And you're going to see that in order for them to make themselves feel good, they're going to publicly target you with anything and everything. They're going to judge you. As soon as you leave your home, they're judging how you look. They're judging what you're wearing. They're judging how your hair looks. They're judging how your teeth look. They're judging every single thing about you, right? And you didn't ask for their opinion. You didn't ask to be bothered by these people. The narcissist doesn't just go around being kind and nice to everyone the way you believe. Sometimes they go out in public and they're publicly shaming people, right? Someone gets their order wrong at the drive-thru, and now they're cussing that person out. They're attacking that person based off how they look. They're attacking that person, saying, "Hey, you work a minimum wage job. Oh, you don't make no money. That's why you don't make no money. That's why your nails aren't done," right? So they'll sit there and publicly shame people out in public. And they do it on the internet. They do it on the internet. They do it in public. They publicly want to shame people because it makes them feel better about themselves. So even with me, a lot of people, they don't know I speak different languages. They don't know I'm fluent in Spanish. So when I go out into the world, they're looking at me. They're not thinking I speak Spanish, by my appearance that I can speak it fluently. So I've had people just sit there and it's happened way too many times, especially if you live in California, and it's happened so many times to where sometimes I'll get people, right, from Spanish descent, and they'll tell me, "Oh, I've been bullied by this type of people. I've had people shame me, and I've never disrespected, or in my culture, we're not disrespectful like that." And I'm like, yes, y'all are. Yes, y'all are. And it's not y'all. It's not everyone. It's and this is why a lot of times when I come across people and their perception based off of our conversation changes, because I'll tell them, "Hey, you didn't know this about me. You didn't know that I can understand you, right? You didn't know that I can speak your language." And I get a lot of hate. I get a lot of disrespect. And in order for you to not feel like you're the only one, that you're not the only person that gets targeted, and you might feel like you're getting targeted by a certain type of people, when I explain to you that, hey, I get targeted by everyone, people that assume things and don't know anything, don't know any better, and I get that same type of hate, how do you think that makes me feel, right? If you feel that way, just know that I'm no different from you, because I experience the same things you go through. So it has nothing to do with where you're from. It has nothing to do with your color. It's the simple fact that narcissist people come in every shades, every color, and every one of us have different realities. But one thing that we will not be able to avoid are narcissists, because they're everywhere, right? So that means you're going to be getting targeted by different types of people that are going to say things to you, that are going to try to pick at certain things about you, that are going to make you build hate inside of you, so that you can look at other people that way, and that so that you can become the narcissist, and you start looking down on other people that remind you of that narcissist that did something to you. Because guess what? I grew up in a family, right, as a biracial kid, and my whole family, from one side of my family, they're completely racist, narcissists. And what I realized with them and their public humiliation with me is to the whole family, to strangers, to people, they treated me like a stranger based off of their own hate that they had based off of things that they went through in their own life. And I would look at them like all I've known are my family. That's all I've known my whole life. You guys saw me grow up. You guys saw me and saw who I am as a person. You know, didn't raise me, but I'm saying, like, they seen me my whole life, so they know culturally, why, in a cultural aspect, I've only been in this culture with you. I might not look like you, but I've been around you long enough for you to know me, and for me to, it's like I never fully got accepted. And the only reason I never got fully accepted is because you have some deep-rooted hate based off of the experiences you went through. But the fact that you're trying to project that onto me, and you've known me my whole life, that lets me know that you're a narcissist. Because if you could treat me like that, how do you treat other people, the people you work with? And these are people that are in high positions. How do you treat your employees? Who do you hire? Do you only hire people that look like you? So the public humiliation goes a long way, because now they'll take opportunities from you, and then they'll say you're lazy. They'll tell you, oh, you need these, we need you to do this. We need you to be bilingual. We need all these things. And you're telling them, I got all these things. I'm really smart. I'm probably, and not to toot my own horn, I'm probably smarter and got more education than all these people put together. But because they want to continue to publicly humiliate you as a whole race, then that's their way of having control over everyone, and even in society. So now if we get to that conversation, now if you're getting publicly humiliated in society, and you've been and as a race you've been targeted, guess what? Everyone has came together to target you, to publicly humiliate you, to assume things about you that aren't true, to question everything that you have. Why do you have a house? Why do you have a car? Oh, you must have got it from here. Oh, you must have inherited it. Oh, how much did this car cost you? It's like you could see the jealousy and the envy pouring out of their pores, because they don't understand how you have anything, because they secretly know that as a society they've been coming together to bring you down. So they don't even believe that you have what you have, even if they see it. And I've seen it, and I've experienced it. And that's why I say that public humiliation from a narcissist, it hits different. But it also, if you're not aware of it, if you're not aware of it, guess what? You're going to get pissed off. You're going to get hysterical. You're going to go back and forth with these people. You're going to argue. So the whole point of this video is that you have to control your emotions when you're going out into the world, because they will target you. They will say things with their friends. They'll say things out loud, and they'll act like you're not even in the room. A lot of the fact that I noticed a lot of these things came from a place of darkness, meaning that when I left the narcissistic relationship and the narcissistic people in my life, and I started to really evaluate everything that happened to me, and I'm like, I was a kid. I didn't know anything. They were supposed to be more mature. They were supposed to understand, right? When I'm thinking of everything, and I'm thinking, how come I got treated different from all these other cousins and I'm like, this is the only thing I can think about. And because I'm not the only person, the other people that have been targeted too, they look just like me and my family. The other people that have been targeted in my family look like me. So I realized we're the black sheep, literally. right? That's when I'm like, oh, so our family we don't get an inheritance just because we're not fully, you know, we're not fully in that culture because of things that our parents, the choices our parents made, right? So if I was attacked like that by grown ass people, but they tried to make it seem like that's not what it was, because everybody knows you don't play with kids. So because they didn't want to seem like abusive people, they will breadcrumb you or do little nice things so that when you start bringing up how they really are, how they really feel, and even as a kid you really knew something is up, they look at me different. I could see it in their eyes. They look at me like I'm a different species, right? Now when you bring up those things, they're going to bring up things that they did or gifts that they gave you, and and make it seem like, oh, this person's just trying to blame us. And it's not that you blame them, is that when you already know you're going to go out into the world with a whole bunch of hateful people, you don't want to think to yourself that the hate started in your home. Certain things that I'm dealing with in society, I'm dealing with it in my family. And at least certain people can turn to their family for support before going out into the world. But when you're coming across people that hate you just like other people in society hate you, and these are the people that raised you, it just kind of hits different because you don't have no one who understands that you can talk to. So and then your parents, it's like they understand, but they don't understand because they're not walking your shoes. They could be there for you, but then they still don't really understand because it's not them who's being targeted, because they can go out into the world and people might not treat one of your parents like that. Your other parent, they might go through those things, but they have a support system. They have people in their corner that raise them to be strong. So you might feel like you're suffocating, right, from the disrespect you're getting in public and people assuming things. So what I learned at my weakest moment was everything that I'm telling you now, right? I've learned this because when I got out of that narcissistic, toxic relationship, I was very sensitive. I was sensitive to music. I was sensitive to movies. I didn't want to watch TV. I didn't want anything that got to do with electronics or anything, social media. I didn't want to do none of that. I didn't really want to meet new people anymore. I went from always wanting to be around people and having friends, and I went completely just ghost, right? And then when I did finally had the courage to do little things or go out, I would notice, because I would try to avoid people a lot. So I would avoid eye contact, or like I would just be very avoidant with people, even like co-workers. I wouldn't talk a lot. I wouldn't say anything for a very long time. And then when I did start talking, everyone's like, oh, you've always been quiet. Oh, we didn't know you had a whole different personality. But it's because at my weakest moment, I was very sensitive to what people did or said, and I would come across people that would fuck with me for no apparent reason, and that shit used to break me down. I would start crying. I would get home. I would get in my car and cry. I would be in the shower crying. I would just be like, I hate it here, right? Because I'm like, why are people fucking with me for no reason? And I'm going through a lot right now. So it's like when you're going through a lot and strangers are messing with you, you're basically a ticking time bomb. And it's not until I healed that I realized that behavior wasn't. I had to grow tough skin, because I had to realize that those problems were never going to leave, right? I would go to work or something, and like it would be people, right, that are my senior, that I would look up to them as a parent, as a grandparent. Not saying that's what they are, because they're human beings. We don't want to age. So you can't go looking at people like they're your mothers, aunts, uncles, cousins. What, you can't look at people that way, because we all are going to age. And some people even get offended because they're like, I'm not your grandma. Don't call me moms. Like you're going to get like me, and you're not going to like it when someone's calling you that, because I'm a human being. And that could be also a form of public humiliation to that person, because they might they might they might feel like they missed out on a lot, or they still haven't accepted their growth and where they're at in life. Especially narcissists, they're living in certain patterns for so long that they make a lot of bad choices too. So when they turn around, and the young girl that they were attracted to is publicly humiliating them, and he's over here trying to kiss on her, and she looking at him like, you my sugar daddy, like I don't really want to kiss you or show affection to you in public, and they're making you look dumb, and you think that you don't look as dumb as you actually look, and now you can't handle the fact that that's how every woman that you come across looks at you, because you're not that young guy anymore, right? Now you're being publicly humiliated and shamed, because even other people might look at you, or other people might look at this young girl, and she don't feel comfortable with people giving her stares or looks unless you got money. Right? Unless you got money, that she, oh, okay, I don't care what people think, because he got money, right? I don't care what people think. He's taking care of me, right? So narcissists will publicly shame you and humiliate you, and you just have to grow tough skin, because it's not going to stop. What I also noticed, because I did tell you guys, I did avoid a lot of people or eye contact with people, and that also was a reason why a lot of people would also target me, because they knew the more you try to avoid people, the more they're going to mess with you. That's why when you walk into a room, always look at your surroundings, always pay attention to what's going on around you, always, observe before speaking. Because they're observing you. They're observing you as soon as you walk in, as soon as they're observing your body language, or observing your eye contact, and they're seeing that you're not looking at your surroundings. They're going to feel like, I could just sit there and talk about you, because you're probably sleepwalking, and you don't even know that I'm subliminally talking about you. But if you're someone who's confident, and you pay attention to everything, you're going to notice that people, they're going to think twice before fucking with you. They're going to think twice before saying something to you, because they're seeing that you're alert, and it don't matter what their perception of you is, because you're alert. And then certain people, even though they notice that you're alert and you're fully awake, they're still going to try to test you, right? They might even make a mean joke. They might even crack a joke on you, and all you got to do is crack a joke back on their ass, and they're going to see, oh, I can't break this person, So narcissists don't stop playing games. And like I said, I used to look at people and think, why would this lady talk bad about me and try to publicly humiliate me? You might do everything perfect at your job. You always show up on time, and then you do one thing wrong, or you forget to do something, and now your coworker, someone who is 2-3 times your age, is sitting there, oh, she didn't do this, publicly humiliating you to your boss, trying to get you in trouble, sometimes even right in front of you, as if you're not a human being, as if you're not a person, as if you don't deserve the same respect, because you're both working the same fucking position. It's not like you're somewhere higher than me. You're working the same position. But you'll look at those type of people and be like, damn, bitch, like, I could be your daughter. You know what I'm saying? You would want someone treating your daughter like that? You know what I'm saying? But narcissists don't think that way, because they don't have no connection to you. You can't look at people like that. You can't look at this sweet old lady and think she's a sweet old lady, because a sweet old lady might even rob you. I've been through that where I'm thinking the old lady giving me I remember one time a older lady when I was back in the day when I was waitressing, she's telling me a story about her son being in jail, and she just started breaking down crying. And then when I came back from a different table, she took off and she didn't pay her bill. And then when my boss asked me, he's like, what happened to her? Where's the where didn't she pay? And I said, no, she didn't pay. And then he's like, I was like, what did she say to you? Because she walked past him and he asked her, if she had paid her bill already. And I guess she told him, she told him that I had already took care of it, basically she already paid with me or whatever. So the old lady lied. So I learned a long time ago that narcissists will try to either publicly humiliate you, or they'll do something sneaky, just like this lady did. They'll come at you. It's either they publicly humiliate you and talk about you, or talk under their breath, or say some bullshit. Especially if you're working. If you're working in any job that you're working, you should already expect that shit. It's gonna come with it. Any job you're working, that's what you're going to deal with. You're going to deal with people talking shit under their breath, out loud, directly at you. Oh, this bitch ain't driving fast enough. Just crazy shit all the time, And even if it's your own business, it don't matter if it's your own business. They really going to let you have it then and take off and not want to pay, So they will try to publicly humiliate you, or they will try to be kind and seem really nice and then start asking you personal questions, because in their mind they feel like by asking you certain questions and you answering their question exactly how they thought you would answer it, to them that's publicly humiliating you, right? So they might say, oh, you don't have a boyfriend, and that's because in their mind they feel like you don't have a boyfriend, or you don't have children, or you're not married, or they feel like nobody wants you. So in their mind, sometimes they even ask you questions because it's their way of publicly humiliating you, because if you answer according to what they want you to answer, and even if you tell them the truth, right? Even if you tell these people the truth, they don't believe you, right? They don't believe you. I remember, or they feel like you don't have enough knowledge. So even if you've been in a relationship, right, or you've been married, or you've been divorced, if someone feels like you haven't had a lot of experience, they're going to test you. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to see how much you know about relationships, and if you were ever in a real or serious relationship. And then once they see how much knowledge you have on relationships, then they'll look at you different. She knows. Oh, she knows the bullshit. Oh, she knows people are fake. She knows how she's been in a real relationship, So people do these things because they want to feel like they're better than you. And then when they judge you based off of what they think about you, because they might feel like they look better, they're better than you, whatever the case is. And once they see that their perception is wrong about you, once they see that your lifestyle is wrong, now because they can't hate on you, because they can't publicly humiliate you because you have more than them, now what you will see is now they're jealous, they're envious. And because they're jealous and envious, they won't publicly humiliate you. They'll just be angry. You'll feel the spirit of anger. Or it might not come off as anger, but they'll start asking you questions like, how much did this cost you? Oh, how long you been doing this? Oh, and a lot of the questions that it might seem like they might want to you might be doing something where they might look up to you, and they might feel like, if you can do it, I can do it too. Cause I'm better than you. So if you did it, maybe I can do it too. So they'll be jealous and they'll copy you. So they'll publicly try to humiliate you or shame you, and at the same time they want to be like you and do what you're doing and be and live like you, or have the type of peace that you have. Even when people try to publicly humiliate you, a lot of times they do this because they might feel your energy as peaceful. So if they feel like, you're breathing normal, you don't seem like you got anxiety, they can tell that you're very patient, they can tell your demeanor, even in your conversations, you don't invade people's privacy in conversations. You can carry on a conversation with someone without interrogating them. So they see these things, right? And that's going to determine if they have the courage enough to shame you or not. So I hope that this message, you guys, was helpful. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe if you guys are new. And if you guys can relate to this, or if you guys experience this, if maybe I'm tripping, but if I go through public humiliation, and it's not all the time, you know what I'm saying, or every now and then, most people don't really mess with me. They could just tell, and my energy is like, they could just tell. People could tell when you're wide awake. But there's always going to be certain narcissists, even narcissists on a low level, who think that you're naive to their games. And when you come across those people, you'll see that, they'll try to test you, but if you catch it real quick, what they're trying to do, if you stand on your shit, or if they cross a boundary and you let them know, I don't feel comfortable asking that, or why you want to know that, if you stand on your shit, you'll see that, they won't mess with you. They'll back down, because even they will admit to themselves, they'll say, yeah, you right, I shouldn't have asked you that. I get a lot of narcissists who tell me that all the time. They're like, yeah, you right, I shouldn't have asked you that. And I won't answer it, and then they'll sit there and oh, I just wanted to know. But it's not to make you feel like this, it's not to make you feel like that. And they think by acknowledging that their shit was intrusive, they think that that's gonna make you say, oh no, it's okay, and answer what they wanted to know, when it's none of their business. So it doesn't, public humiliation, it don't stop. Even even when I was out one time I shared with you guys in the past, when I was with my mother, we're spending a day together, like mother daughter time by a lake. We had our chairs in the water, in the lake water, and me and her just talking. And I had bought some scratchers for the both of us. I don't gamble at all, you know what I'm saying? But it was one of them times where I was like, oh, I'm gonna do, get some scratchers for me and my mom so we could distract ourselves. And they have little cross puzzle games and things like that. And some dude, he just walks by and he's like, you wasted all your money on that. He's like, you wasted all your money on scratchers. And he's walking with his family, with his wife and kids, and I'm looking at him like, why are you talking to me while I'm with my mother? But because me and my mother don't look alike at all, I'm thinking he probably don't know, this is my mother. But it's the simple fact that why are you even saying anything to two women who are minding their business while you're with your family? You should be with your family, focus on your family, right? But the narcissist will always try to publicly humiliate you. And then when he walked by again with his family, he goes, you didn't win anything, you lost your money, didn't you? And I looked at him and just like looked at my mom and like was like, like I gave like the little like like I don't even want to talk. Like I want to say something, but I'm not gonna. It's like I caught myself because I wanted to say something, but I really didn't want to say nothing because it wasn't even worth my energy. So all that came out of my mouth was because I was gonna say something, but I was like, no, it ain't even worth my energy. You ain't even worth my energy like that for real though. Like I don't. I'm never going to see you again. I'm never going to cross paths with you. How you feel about what I'm doing with my money shouldn't fucking matter to you. If I decided to spend this money, it's not because I thought I was going to win a gang of money. It's like if I win something, cool. If I don't really care. I spent this money already in my mind knowing it's gone, the money gone. I don't care. It's just the game. I'm just gambling. It's just the game to me. But if you broke and you can't buy scratchers and you feel like it's a waste of money because you don't want to waste your money on something like that, that's fine. You don't got the money to buy scratchers, you think it's a waste of money, cool, don't do it, don't buy it. But don't worry about me because I'm a stranger. You don't know me. I don't buy scratchers all the time on a regular basis. I never buy scratchers. It was just like and I haven't bought any since that day. And that was so long ago. That was years ago when that happened. But it was when I started to notice that the narcissist public humiliation, it doesn't stop. Like you could be with your family, you could be with your friends, and it's like I don't have a problem with strangers talking to me, my friends or my family, or people like to butt into conversations, or people like to involve, not involve themselves, but sometimes they're in the room and you might be telling someone, oh, I wonder when the doors are going to open. Oh, the doors are going to open at this time. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought the doors were going to open at this time. And so conversations that are like, harmless, are cool. But what I noticed with narcissists is that they're very like intrusive, and that's like, and that's what I hate about working with people, is that even like customers or like people that you're doing business with, or just complete strangers, they just are very intrusive. I've had narcissists who will start grabbing my shoulder and trying to act like we're friends. It is a complete stranger, and just because you see me at work all the time don't mean you know me. Don't even touch me. I don't even know you like that. I never had any conversations with you to make you think we're friends. I've never shared anything personal with you. Every time I see you, it's hi, how you doing, have a good day. So it's like they want to force their lifestyle, who they are. They want to force their personality on you, and then they want you to open up. And when you don't open up, it's like they start trying to force you to like them or force themselves. And this is all done just to get information from you. It's just to know who you are, things about your life. This is why they're super nice or super intrusive, is because they want to know things about you. And what you'll notice is that eventually all their that charm is going to change. They're going to go from trying to like you, to now they're being messy. Now they're talking about you to your other coworkers, and these could be customers. They're talking to your other coworkers about you, or telling your business things that you shared with them with other people. And it becomes like high school, and you're wondering, how could this be high school with fucking strangers that are walking into this business, and I'm not here to cater to my coworkers. I'm not here to cater to fucking strangers, besides keeping it business related. But you'll see that these people will even come off even charming at first, but it's only because little by little, because they feel like they might come here all the time, little by little they're just going to want to gain more and more information about you. And anything you say to them, they'll say it to other people. So if you share things with them, they're going to share things with their friends that also go there. And now their friends think that they know you, and their friends might be narcissists. And because you shared something personal with this stranger, that you might feel like, I see them all the time. Now, other people that they've talked to have now put it in their minds that you're their next target. Oh, this person's vulnerable. This person's too nice. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to start some mess, or I'm going to steal, or I'm going to be disrespectful. Or what you'll see a lot of narcissists, especially with me, I think because I look young, I think people expect me to behave like a naive female or something. Like, I feel like people expect me to act more naive. And so when they see how I carry myself, how I'm respectful, it's like they want to cross that boundary where they don't understand. I'm not a kid. I'm not a teenager. I'm not someone you could play around with. I'm not in your culture the way you think I am. I'm not over here living this lifestyle. I don't hang out with people like that you probably hang out with. I don't behave like the girls that you probably hang out with. You probably want to compare me to them, or people in your life, or people that you know, but I'm not like them. I don't behave like them. I don't think like them. And when you show them something different, they feel like you shouldn't have that type of respect for yourself. You shouldn't have class. They look at you like you shouldn't have class. You're nothing but a hoochie mama like the rest of these girls. I don't know why you're trying to act like you're so nice and you're so perfect. They think it's an act or something. So people will even publicly humiliate you because they think that who you are is an act, like you're acting or something, like you're a fucking actor, because they're actors. You know what I'm saying? And when they feel like they can't pretend with you, some of them, you'll see that they're fucking crazy. You'll see that they try to charm you. They try to be like a Casanova. And when they see you're not going for that, they'll just start showing you how nasty of a person they are, like right away. Like, oh, I can't get nothing. I can't charm her. All right, I'm going to start walking in here acting like a jerk. I'm going to start treating her the way I treat everybody, like they're peasants. And she can't do nothing about it because she's on the clock. Right? That's what they do. So I'm sending you guys lots of love. I know I dragged this on for a little bit too long. But like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.